Alright, what is up, guys, gals, whatever you want to identify as. This is Socks Are Great, or Socks. A lot of people, you know me as Socks. Today I wanted to talk to you about how I got to, what's that, 134 million kills, this KVK, as a complete free-to-play player. Right? You can see the Mina icon right there. Scroll to the bottom, we can see, what is it? Oh yeah, not unlocked. All right, so first I want to give a shout out to my kingdom. I'm currently in 2268, as you can see. And I don't think we did that bad in KBK, honestly. If you look at the standings, healing, we were number 3. Actually, we were number 3 in everything. Healing number 3, kills number 3, and deaths number 3. Right, so we didn't do that bad as a kingdom. Overall, well, we still, unfortunately, lost, right? We're against 2429, which is a pretty strong kingdom, as well as Water Camp, which is 3 other A seeds. But yeah, I wanted to talk about my performances, KVK. Where did I go to see that? Oh, yeah, we can go here. So if you look at the retrospect, I've always been doing pretty good in KVK, but this KVK in general, I took it to sort of extremes. So as you can see, I killed 134 million troops. Actually, in one day somehow I got 24 million, which is pretty good for a one-day record for me personally. I think that's like my highest. Actually, I did probably higher last KVK one time, but yeah, my heals were actually a lot better than I thought, considering I just kept we dived a lot trying to get objectives, and against 2429, which is a pretty strong kingdom, it didn't go that well for a lot of times for me. But I also tracked my stats. You can see here. So first of all, I can show you my kingdom data, right? So if you can see here, I am number 10 overall for KP, right? 2.5 billion. That's 1.4 million. It shows 131 million right here. I got a little more kills after the zones were invaded, right? So I forgot what it's called, zone 4 as well as zone 5. I don't know what they're called, but like when you lose KVK, they just invade the zone so you can get more KP, just like smacking people coming back from like rallying cities, or maybe even just people leaving their marches out. Actually, I got one report here I saved. This is in Alter, so I picked up some kill points. Not inflating, I swear, not inflating. But as you can see, I ran into one of the altars, 214. That was like 2 weeks ago, so that was pretty well after we were out of Kale. But I just ran into Alter. There were just a bunch of farm accounts there. I just smacked all of the farm accounts with my Joe Nevsky. And as you can see, I just sort of picked up a bunch of kills. You see there. So this is like additional kills that were not counted, right? The kills I show you right here are kills that my leadership documented until we were out of Kale. So I picked up an additional, what is that, about 3.5 million kills after we were kicked out of Kingsland, right? So as you can see, that's my leadership stats. I also personally track my stats every KVK, but this KVK in general, I made a sort of Google Docs to make it a little prettier. So I can show you my 4 marches right here as well. Right, do I have them saved? Right here. Zook Herman, Scipio Luce, Nev Joan, and Huo William. Okay, so I'm going to talk about my first march, my Nev Joan. This is a sort of tried and true march, right? This is a march a lot of people have been using for a long time right now, but it's a very reliable march for me in particular. And for people who know what HA is, Heroic Anthem, I had 2 support skills. So I used Bars. I forget what skill this is, but it gives me Cav Attack. And Belisari's 4th skill, a lot of people know the skill, on Nevjo. And here's my kills at the start of the KVK. I had 92.5. And at the end, I had 113.13. So my total kills was 41. How did I get that 41? You can just subtract these 2 kills and then multiply it by 2. Because the kills you get are split between the primary and the secondary commanders, right? So this is only half the kills of the march, right? So if you add those, if you subtract the kills I got after minus the kills I got before, and then multiply that by 2, that's the amount of kills this march Nev Joan got me, right? So it got me 41.135 million kills, which is, pretty good. I mean, 30 mil kills is what most people even struggle to get, right? So this is just one march, okay? My gear, I can also show you in game if you want, but I just took screenshots. Two-piece set, chest boots, Ash Navarre's KVK helm, and ringhorn. So armaments, my armaments are pretty good, I'd say, for free to play. I have Hunter Inscription as well as I forget how much that is off stats, probably just like 26, and then I have another like 6% off inscriptions. So I have well over 30% stats on this set of armaments. My Scipio Chain March, both are expertise. Um, the support skills I use, this one is a really good support skill for this march in general. The Epic Joan support skill, which gives 25% more normal attack damage. And I had Guan Yu's, I forget which skill this is, probably his third skill, which gives march speed as well as attack. So I had these two skills equipped on my Scipio Chain March. So as you can see, I don't even know how I got these kills, but I had some kills at the start of the KVK, and I ended with 21.8 million. So if you multiply that by 2, you get to approximately 43.49 million kills. So this March got me the most kills this KVK. I would say partly due to these two support skills being very, very good, right? I mean, 25% more normal attack damage when Luce's um, active skill relies on normal attack damage. It's a pretty good support skill. So I think it's hard to say if this March was better than my Nevsky Joan, but both were performed very good, right? Gear, I have the normal 4-piece set with Hope Cloak as well as Ring and Horn. Okay, I didn't change the pants at the moment yet. Armaments, unfortunately, I have not been that lucky with my infantry armaments. I mean, it still did pretty well this KVK though. So I have a lot of attack, right? This brutal is also attack, Warcry is also attack, shield is defense. So I'm pretty much all in on attack somehow. But I try to maximize stats when I can on my armaments. So this is what it looks like on my Scipula Chain March. Herman Zug. Okay, this is the sort of new march for some people, right? So I had my Herman for 5541, and then I upgraded to 5551, like mid KVK. My Zug is expertise. The support skills for this were not that good. I had the Epic Herman's support skills, which gives 10% more normal attack, and sort of this is like the Feral Nature skill, which gives me 10% chance to gain extra rage and counterattack damage because this is a squishier march, the Archer March. I want to get a little more tankier. So you can see here I had exactly 0, which is weird because this showed 54, but I still have no idea how I got that. I had 0 at the start of the KVK, and I ended with 14.283 mil. So if you multiply that by 2, that gives me 28.57 mil kills, which is not bad, right, for my first KVK. My Hermit is not expertise. I'm assuming when it's expertise, it'll probably be more on par with Nev Joan. But yeah, not having expertise obviously will result in less kills, as you can see. Gear, 4-piece set, TB set, Dragon Breath set, and then I had Horn, and I opted for, instead of a ring, crit the flag, right? March speed is a very big issue because Zugliang has 0% March speed. Actually, Herman is the only one that has March speed. Right, in armaments, I even opted for a March speed inscription. Right, you can see I got 2.5% March speed. Not the best armaments. I think I'm at 28% stats wise, which is not as good as my other sets, but it's all right. I mean, it's not too bad. You can see it didn't do that bad overall, but not bad. I'll obviously be working on my gear more as well. This is not where I want it to be. So Huo William, I have maxed my Huo, but he's not expertise. I just don't like the expertise. Maybe I'll do it later, but I'm not at this point where I want to. I've heard people tell me it's sort of the difference is sort of like negligible or whatever it's like. It doesn't make a big difference, but yeah, I'm not gonna do it for now. My William is at 5531. I just sort of winged it with William. I just want the rage buff. Support skill, there's only one support skill left. The rest of these, this is like a garrison. Most of these are like garrison or rally skills that are leftovers. I only had the Chandra, I think second skill or third skill, I forget. And I only had it to 2, unfortunately, because my Chandra, I didn't dump heads into Chandra. So that's my only support skill. You can see I have been using Cool. I have 10.7 million at the start. Now I'm at 20.9. So definitely a little less performance-wise. 20.4 million kills, but I mean not that bad. It's like sort of a support march, I guess I'd say. I thought it'd perform a little better, but I mean, it is what it is. Uh, Not much AOE on this march. It's a lot of Williams AOE is a bit scuffed. We all know rectangle AOE is a little weird. The gear, not too bad. I invest more in my cab marches, honestly. The accessories, I definitely need to work on. I have the KVK helm, 2P set, and Ash Navarre. It's pretty similar to my Nevsky March, just minus the accessories. My cab armaments are pretty good, as you can see. I have the Hunter inscription as well as a lot of stats. So yeah, pretty good for my Hua William March. Unfortunately, it didn't get me that many kills, but I think maybe when I max my William, will be performing better because my William is at 5531. But I'm gonna work on Hermit for now. And let's go to the important part, right? My stats. So this is where I was at the start of KVK, right? You can even see my power dropped off about 10 million. Um, so I was at 6.772 and now I'm at 9.316. So this is our another one of our KVK sort of data trackers. I am up 2.484. This is when they stopped collecting data. Okay, stop collecting data. So I did gain a little more kill points after we lost. They invaded the zones. So not bad, right? About 2.4 billion kill points and 1.4 million dead troops. As you can see, it's mostly T5, right? 117 million T5, 13.5 million T4. So was that like 90% T5? A little more than 90% T5. I got some data back there. But as you can see, yeah, I put that behind. I'm still, I cut off. Yeah, to cut off. I'm at number 10 overall in the kingdom brackets. You can show right here in terms of KP. Uh, yeah, and the T4 kills, I actually tracked this as well. Before the kingdom stopped tracking the data, was at 13.532. Oh, that's where. One sec. Uh, yeah, I put the images behind the text. There we go. So T5 kills before the data stopped being tracked is 117. This is where I just copied this sort of data down here. So they tracked me at 131 million kills after the zone invasion. Right after the zone invasion, I even helped some people fill the hospital. So this number is a little higher than what we see in game actually here. Right, it's showing 134.4, but I personally gained, if you compare this on my profile, 135 million kills. Okay, my deads are not that great, obviously, but the main difference between my deads is that all these deads came in KL for the most part. I only had like 300k deads in the first zone because we were instructed not to go too hard in the first zone. Obviously, lower players like myself, my hash power is what 82 million. I'm down what 10 million now. So I don't kill that much that often because I like to field a lot. I want to field and be comfortable, not constantly healing my hospital. So my deads are a little low, but it's I make up for it in KP, right? So tech. Unfortunately, I forgot to take a screenshot of the tech. I'll zoom in a little so it's easier to see. But this is normally where I'm at when I enter KL, right? I'm swift marching to like usually 7 out of 10. Treaties and culture exchange is usually done. Then I go to max call to arms 1. That's really as far as I get. This is all before even. This is before I even finish T2 Tech. I already have this done. I don't have my 6 March, obviously. Uh, oh yeah, this is my resource breakdown. Right, my tech is pretty sad. I'll be honest. I literally do not even get farther than Call to Arms 2. I'll be honest. So in terms of resources, as you can see, this is at the start of KVK. I had, I forget what that is, like 11 billion, 12 billion at the start, and I literally used it all in the first zone. Well, I had a little left over, but I basically used it all, right? So the first zone alone, I used 13 billion resources. So a lot was invested in the first zone, but it was a good KVK. Honestly, it's just really expensive. So I spent 13 billion in the first zone, and in KL, approximately I spent 10 billion. In the past 7, I spent about 3 billion. So if you add those two, I spent about 13 billion combining Pass 7 and KL, which is a little better. But I still spent 26 billion resources, mostly food this KVK. So like approximately 9 bill food, 6 bill stone, 6 bill wood, and 5 bill gold. Okay, so total I spent about 26 bill resources for 2.5 billion kill points. So not bad, obviously. How many speeds did I spend? I'd say the first zone I spent 300 days. Past 7 I spent 125 days. Kingsland, I spent about 200 days. So in total, I spent about 625 days of speeds, which is not bad. I mean, for most players, I'd say this is a lot, right? But I do have a lot of speed ups in general. You can see up here, right? The start of KL, I even had 1650 days of speed ups. So using 625 days for that amount of kill points is perfectly fine for me. And as you can see, my heal ratio actually was pretty good. I only healed 57 million troops. So I'm very efficient when I play as well. If you just want a TLDR breakdown, this is like sort of my TLDR, right? Total KP gain, total kill gain, total resources spent. I already sort of went over this, but if you don't want to like look at the visuals or you just want to skip ahead, this is sort of like my TLDR of the stats. Okay. So yeah, it was not a bad KVK. I know a lot of people might be saying, "Oh, how can you do this as free to play?" I am actually have been doing pretty similar performances in my last KVK. It's not as good as this one, obviously. If you can see season retrospect. I played Orleans my last KVK. I was in 1235. Unfortunately, that KVK died, but you know, this is where I was for my last KVK in Orleans. And as you can see there, I got 86 million kills in Orleans. So I mean, I have been doing work for a while, but this KVK is my like true pop off. And then one HA before that, what did I do here? I think I did also 80 million. But yeah, this is my new record for sure. Yeah, I also did 87 million. So I've been doing pretty consistently 80 million kills, which is about like 1.5 billion kill points. But this is the KVK that I sort of went off, right? Where I got to, yeah, I've done HA way too many times now. I got to 2.5 billion kill points this KVK. All right. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about for now. If you have any questions for me, let me know. I just wanted to give an update about my KVK as well as my account. I'm pretty sure this is the highest number of kill points any free to play has done. I also did stream my pass opening for Pass 4 as well as Kingsland and some of the altar fights, but the Pass 7 I did not stream because, you know, Pass 7 is mostly just pass fights and counter rallies and swarming the counter rally. It's not much fielding at Pass 7, right? So I usually only stream the first day of the pass opening because I get too tired to like stream usually the second day, but I streamed the whole first day of the pass 4 where I probably did 30 million kills there. But I will be streaming next KVK. I usually don't do videos in general, just because I don't know. I don't like to do videos. I don't need the like income or anything. I guess this is just for like educational purposes. Like people can learn hopefully from me. That you know it is possible to do what I do as free to play. Okay, so if you like this video, let me know. I'm planning to only stream KVKs and probably only make videos for KVK because that's the only thing I'm really interested in. But in the future, I may do something different, right? Depends how we go from here. All right, so thank you. Yeah.